Welcome to Convos with Shelly and Jo. We out here and we're gonna show you how we do this, how we do this, how we do this, how we do this. Welcome to Convos with Shelly and Jo. We out here and you going off beat?
I was going off beat. Well, first of all,
welcome to Convos with Shelly and Jo. We are ready to have the conversation with you.
Wait, who is who?
I don't know.
Are you Shelly? I'm Jo. She's Shelly. Just in case you didn't know, rhyme, rapper. I'm a rapper.
Welcome to Convos with Shelly and Jo. I'm Shelly.
I'm Jo.
We are going to talk about, which one to talk about?
Should we start with Lil Nas X? Because I'm hot on that. Like, I got it in my spirit.
Okay, so tell them about it, and then we'll jump into it.
All right, so basically, y'all know, well, I hope that y'all know, that Lil Nas X came out as gay, and it was like this big scandal. You know, a lot of people were confused. They didn't understand. And he was like, well, I thought it made it clear, but he really didn't make it clear. And then a lot of people were, switching fan bases and talking about not liking him anymore. So there's a lot going on with that.
This whole thing with Lil Nas X is interesting, just because I feel like, so what if he's gay or not gay? But my thing was, I felt like the way he tried to make it seem like, oh, I thought it was obvious, and he like zoomed all the way in on this album cover type picture, like the song cover photo. It was a graphic where like it's showing like a city, and then like part of the lights, like one of the buildings is lit up in like LGBT rainbow colors. And I'm like, yeah, that didn't necessarily mean that we thought you were gay, dude.
I don't think he was gonna come out like in the traditional like I'm out to everybody, because he had this old Twitter account that some people had like found. 'Cause people be finding stuff.
Oh, is this how it came out?
Yeah, so he had this whole before he did come out and announce it and stuff like that. But before that, he had this old Twitter account. And it wasn't like it wasn't like circulating a lot, but it started to circulate around, and it was like screenshots from this old Twitter of him like talking about being gay and revealing photos and stuff like that, and it started to like circulate a little bit. And this was before he actually came out with a statement that he was gay. So then he came out with this gay thing. So I feel like that was like a push to make him come out.
So you think he was just gonna act like he was nothing? He was gonna let people come up with it, whatever they wanted.
Yeah, I don't think he would be an acting. I just think he wasn't gonna mention it, because none of his songs actually really mention liking girls or anything like that. But it doesn't mention liking guys either.
It doesn't. It just says my baby.
Yeah, and that's which is that in itself is interesting. Sorry, I like to make a connection. Anyway, but that in itself is interesting, because a lot of times, like rap, you always go to what you love, or rappers go to like things that they like, or some girl, that's a really common thing to talk about, but he didn't.
Well, my thing is like, who do you have to tell that you're gay? I think the thing that annoys me is like this idea that you gotta come out. And I think like I out myself on my profile by saying I'm bisexual, just because I know that I'm serving a large pool of black women. I know that the black community is mostly, very conservative, even though we may vote liberally. So I do it because I'm like, I don't want it to come out later, and then people are like, oh, I can't follow her, or I don't imagine anybody saying I won't take money for my business because you're gay or because you're bisexual, right? But hey, some people have hardcore views that strong. I just feel like the religion pieces around it is so interesting, because I feel like all of the religion really teaches love for everybody. And it's like, if you're gonna like deem the like things a sin or not a sin, I feel like everything I've read about religion or in the Bible is like the sinning judgment is left up to God, not the people.
Me and my gay friends were talking about this, and talking about how you're in like what happened, like the process of coming out the closet, right? You're in the closet so much, so when you do finally come out, it's like, I'm so gay, everything I do is gay, like I've touched that and now it's gay, you know what I mean? It's very aggressively gay, right? And what a lot of people don't understand is that a lot of gay people just stay like that, like they just stay in this aggressive gay.
Well, because maybe we feel like we're fighting something, right. Like we're fighting, we got to keep fighting it every day, and that goes back to the like angry black woman thing.
And for those people who choose to be passively gay, like Lil Nas X, who isn't like this aggressive stereotype version of being gay, it's hurtful, because people don't like aggressive, people don't like aggressive gays. people don't like this. I'm gay. I'm this. I'm that all the time. You know what I mean? And I think people don't recognize that you can be other things too. Like, I'm gay, but it's not like I also do theater. I'm also like smart. Like, there's also other parts.
Which
of
is
me.
all gay things.
But whatever, Mom.
You're
but
theater
like,
and you're smart. You're gay, clearly.
but also people.
No,
don't
I'm kidding.
I don't think people recognize that the Bible is just kind of like a loose handbook and not like a rigid, like, this is what you need to do. Like, I view the Bible the same way I view the Constitution, as like a living document. So as with the time changes, the Bible will update.
Neither one of them calculated black folks, and neither one of them calculated women. Okay? So that's a good way to put it. The Bible and the Constitution.
Right. They're like, you look at it like it's a continuing document. So like, as things change, so will our concepts and our ideas of the Bible. And I think that people, you know, I have a big issue with like religious figures that think that they are the concrete idea on religion. I really have an issue with that, because that's not true. Because the Bible is for each individual person, not for like, the pastor will explain the word to you, but it's actually for you to read and you to understand and you to have a connection with God. I believe that religion is personal. You know what I mean? Which is why I don't have any issues with being gay and being religious at the same time, because in my conversations with God, in my reflecting, in my view of the Bible, God has never told any of that to me. So why would God give you a message but not give the message to you?
It is in the Bible that you won't get a message that you didn't already have. But let's talk about how this affects business, right? And so I think, because the idea that you are gay, and you were saying like you think it affects the fan base, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I think, and going back to what I said about like the work that I do, and I'm so public, and I'm so like, you know, helping women everywhere, and I'm, you know, doing this work, I feel like being bisexual is hard to tell. Like, everybody's just looking at each other and being like, oh, I think everybody's straight. It's all heteronormative. Like, everybody's straight until they're gay kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I take issue with the idea that, like, I can't listen to your music now. Like, his music has nothing to do with being gay or straight.
But I think that, so what I was trying to explain is sometimes gay comes with such a heavy stereotype, right? And I think
what? When it comes to music, I'm saying, like,
no, we're not talking about music, because that part doesn't matter. To the people that are the criticism, it's not anything about his music. It's about him being gay, and that in society, being gay is it's still a newer concept, and it hasn't become settled into being okay. You know, even though there's like increasing like people that are coming out as allies and in support and things like that, there's still a very large amount of criticism and homophobia and stuff like that. It's just like being black, you know what I mean? Even though being black has become more acceptable than, you know, in the 60s, right? And it's not like open segregation, there's still a lot of racism and stuff like that. It's the same side of thing, so society has not fully come to it. So there's still a lot of homophobia and ignorance, especially, that a lot of people are holding on to. And when they see, and the Lil Nas is not the stereotypical gay, right? Which is why it's like, when he didn't come out and then he came out, people had some big thing about it because they started to think of those stereotypes.
We can probably land on is it's just evolving. Like, this area of being gay, straight, cis, whatever kind of genders exist, like, nobody knows what to do with it. Just leave it alone.